Hello, my name is Cameron and today I'll be showing you my final year project titled 6 Feet Under. 6 Feet Under is a third-person action game that puts the player into the shoes of a supervillain who has the powers similar to that of the Force from Star Wars and the mechanics within Control. So if I boot up the game here, we boot into the main menu. If I click continue, we can start the game here. So you start off in the back of this vehicle here and you're faced with a wall with a crack in it. If I step forward, a tip comes up showcasing to the player that you can destroy walls with cracks in it using the power that the player has, which is spawned with the left mouse button. If I just press the left mouse button, it breaks the wall and I can step out of the truck. The objective updates there saying to break in, I need to find a way into this facility that's in front of us. So if we first of all just go up to the door, the subtitle comes up, the door's locked, it's too heavy to break. So I'll have to find another way in. So the player's attention should be grabbed by these flashing lights over here. So if we make our way over here, we'll find another wall with a crack in. So just like in the tip that was shown on the screen, left mouse button, we can able to break the wall. Now we walk in, the objective updates. We now need to progress through the facility to the factory floor. So if we take a look around, we're into some sort of corridor. But again, the player's attention should be grabbed by these flashing lights. So we follow the flashing lights, we find our way around this corner over here. Make our way over to these barrels at the end where another flashing light is. Another tip will come onto the screen, showing the player that if we grab an object that has a white line around it, we can hold it. And then this can be used with... this can be used, and then we can walk around here and we can break walls as people combined with our power of the left mouse button. So if we grab it here, throw it at that enemy past the glass, the enemy breaks and the glass shatters. So the enemy dies and the glass shatters. So we could grab the other barrel now, throw it there. Obviously, as you saw, the glass does break eventually on its own. Again, there's another enemy behind some glass here. The player's attention should be grabbed by these red lights. So if we walk up to this scissor lift, again the subtitle comes up. The scissor lift's broken, we'll have to find another way up. So if we throw this chair through the glass at the enemy, again, enemy dies, glass shatters. Another tip comes up here around the health system. So obviously, if the player gets shot at, the health will decrease. And there's two ways of increasing your health back up. So when an enemy dies, you can take the health. They'll either just be able to walk over and drain the health, or from a narrative standpoint, the enemy isn't fully dead, so we can just drain the last bit of life from them. So if I close that, and now just grab these, as these will be our way over the platform here. So I'll grab the water containers and just place them here. I'll just get the final one, then we can make our way over the gap. We jump up, and now we're up. Again, there's another piece of glass in front of us, but we have some objects here. So I'll just store this chair at the glass, and the glass shatters. Make our way through here, down these stairs. Now we're presented with a door here. There's a red lock next to it. So basically we'll just grab an object and we'll throw the object at the lock. That switches the lock or breaks it per se, and we can make our way through here. Now again, another door. There's two locks above it connected to some pressure plates. So we have to put something on it to open the door. Now this door's just locked, so we've got no object. However, there is a wall with a crack in it here. So if we use our power like before to break this lock, there are enemies here. The enemies will come after us as we've obviously infiltrated the facility. And I'll throw the barrel at that one, and I can use my power to kill them. Again, as you can see, our health has now decreased as we've been shot at. I can drain the health from this enemy, my health goes back up. So now we'll just collect these objects, or these barrels, and I'll just place them on these pressure plates, and we should be able to open that door and progress through. So, pressure barrel down, door opens. So now we're through here. As you can see on the other side of that glass, there is an enemy there. Move our way around. There's two more on the left side, two more on the right side. You can't see me at the moment, but obviously, as you can see, there's a door on the other side, so I need to get there. So I'll just grab this chair, and I'll throw it through the glass. That kills one of the enemies. Again, they will shoot me. Now, if the enemies can't see me anymore, and I'm out their line of sight, they will come looking for me. So I'll get that one to come to me. That one's also come to me. I can kill him. So now I need to unlock this door. So if I grab this chair and throw it at the lock. Got lucky with my aim there. So now we're through here. As you can see, there's a few spheres on the ground here. And if we click on this, the objective updates, kill all the guards and destroy the anti-power machines. This tip explains a bit more what they are. So as the anti-power machines, as the name says, completely blocks the player's power to grab objects. So they have to be destroyed from outside of the blue sphere. So if I close this tip, there are also enemies dotted around that will open fire at me. So if I make my way up these stairs, again, just kill the enemies as I go. Just get that one as he's shooting at me. So using my left mouse button power, I can break the object like that. I can also throw objects that scattered around at the anti-power machines as well. Like that. So if I just make my way across here, kill these enemies and destroy the anti-power units. Collect that health while I'm here. There we go. And destroy that one as well. I'm on my way back round here, so I can get these anti-power units on the other side. But again, just destroy this one, kill these enemies. And there we go, those are the upstairs ones destroyed. And I think that might be all the enemies killed now as well. So I'll just quickly mob up the rest of these anti-power units. I'll just use my power here to just kill them, or destroy them, sorry. So from a narrative standpoint, these anti-power units have been made, obviously to block the supervillain's power, as a sort of last-ditch attempt by the people living in the game, within the game. So now that they're destroyed, the objective updates, find a way out before reinforcements arrive. So again, the door we came through has now been shut again, and there's no way of opening from this side. But if you look in this corner, there is a wall with a crack in it. So we'll make our way over, and I use my power on this wall. The wall breaks, and then that is the mission finished. So I'll quickly run through a bit of the behind-the-scenes aspect of it. So if we look in the player controller here, I'll just focus on the power aspect of it all. So in the pickup object, if I press the pickup object button, which was the right mouse button, it will check if I'm blocked. Now obviously if I am blocked, nothing will happen. But if I'm not, it will check. It will set that I'm carrying an object. It will do a line trace from the player. And whatever it hits, it will check if it's something I can pick up. And then it will grab the object via the physics handle, which is attached to the player. That allows them to pick up objects, basically. For forced objects, again, checks if I'm blocked. If I am, nothing happens. If I'm not, check if I'm carrying. If I am, it will then add the impulse to the object that the player is carrying. If the player isn't carrying anything, it will do a capsule trace from the player, check what tag the object that it has, and it will spawn an invisible projectile which will then hit that. If that's a wall, if it's an object, again it will apply a force. This can be seen through the object here. This is just an example of the barrel. All the objects have this blueprint code in it though, which will apply force and add an impulse to the static mesh using the force origin. That is subtracted from the world location times with the power. Now if I quickly look at the level design here, now obviously as you saw as I ran through it, it's set in some sort of facility with a factory at the end. It's sort of made in this linear fashion, as I was making the project, I kept trying to introduce ways for the player to understand the mechanics so they could use it. And this sort of just developed and allowed me to make a sort of tutorial level, where as you saw through the gameplay, it just allowed the player to understand the mechanics as they went through and introduce them a bit more. If I open up YouTube here, you can see on previous iterations, it was sort of a slight, this is, as you can see, the same shape as the factory was at the end, but it's took a lot more iterations since. It was more just like a factory with office sides at the side here, where there was pickups that you went through. Yeah, so first of all, like the first sort of design, it was just sort of a platformer where you would pick stuff up and you have to use your like the power you have with the mechanics to collect these things. This was just a first initial prototype of picking up the objects. As you can see, they were just spheres and cubes at the time. That allowed me just to see how easy it was to use, basically. If I go next, and I'll show you a lot of the art assets I used in my project were taken from this free factory environment collection off the Epic store itself. So obviously I'm a designer, I'm not an artist, so I wasn't able to make any of it myself. So this was quite a godsend, to be honest. It had everything I needed, and I was able to use the materials, the assets itself, everything. As you can see, that was in the factory, this sort of conveyor belt type thing here. The character models themselves, as you can see on the guy here and within the game, were taken from Mixamo. So as you can see, well, this one here is the character model that was used, and the SWAT police officer was from Mixamo as well. Same with the animations. The particle effects that was on his hand, as you could see, again taken from Epic Multiplayer's a free collection. The sound files were taken from a website called Freesound. As you can see, just some ambience, smashing, doors opening, gunshots for the enemies, stuff like that. If I quickly show the AI character, AI was something I'd never actually tackled before, so this was new to me. But I was able to follow a tutorial and get this code here. I made my behaviour tree, so as you can see it would find a search point and move to. That's what I was explaining earlier when I was out of the enemy's sight. And mainly the bit I want to show off as well is this. So this was the destructible mesh, the walls, as you could see. So I fracture it here. I was able to put in my own values over here using the plugin for Unreal. And as you can see, if it was fractured, it would be able to fracture in my own ways with these values. This was used a lot for the different walls and the glass that I was using. This is just simply the same thing here, just with the glass material placed on. The UI with the videos, that was a big task for me as well, as I'd never done anything like this before, but I recorded the videos myself on my own sort of testing ground level map, and I was able to import them into Unreal. If I go to the videos folder, actually, you can see I would import the video like this, and I'd have to use a media player. That would then export it as a media texture, and I would be able to make it as a material. This is what's used in the UI itself, and then just in the code I'm able to open the source as the media player for that. So yeah, that is my final year project titled 6 Feet Under.